Hi guys, my name is Meads. This is going to be a review for Robot Spirits or Robot Damashii Nero Traina. And actually not quite sure where is this from. I don't know what I can gather from the wiki. It sends from a photo novel Gundam Sentinel. Yep. I wonder if it was produced in a game or something, but well, mainly I got it because it looks really cool. I'm not a fan of the Earth Federation's grunt suit, like the GIM or the GM. Unless there are a couple ones I really like though. Well, the Power GM is one of them, and yeah, there's just a handful that I like, but not as much as the Xeon counterparts, where a lot of the mass-produced grunt suits I really like. There's just something with the Xeon which makes it kind of stands out a little bit more than the Earth Federation. But when I saw this, it got me intrigued. It's the Nero. And it does have a nifty looking backpack. Yeah, look at that cool looking, like a rifle, a sniper rifle there. And this is a burqa, meaning it will have a different paint. Probably have that matte coat, as well as decals. Probably have to put that in. It might be a water slide decals that I have to add. Yep, but that has a really cool looking backpack. And it's from Gundam Sentinel, like where the S Gundam and the XS Gundam came from. Oh, really cool. And it does come with a brown shipper. It is an exclusive. Got mine from Tatsu Hobby, and they probably don't have this anymore. But if you are interested in acquiring Robot Damashii, you can check out Tatsu Hobby. I'll provide the link down below, and if they don't have it in stock and something that you like to pre-order, you can always send them inquiry. Alright, let's get on with the review. Alright, we got the packaging here. Just want to quickly go over this. We got the propellant tanks here, the backpack, the overly huge shoulders here, rifle, binders, get a couple of hands, beam saber hilts, and there's no decals on this yet because right here we got the water slide decals, which you have to apply yourself. Now, one of my concern is I don't know where to put them. Here's the instructions. On this side, it just tells you a couple of places. And it's one of those things that I kind of want to put the water slide where it makes sense. Like, I mean, you do have the freedom to put wherever you want, but it's nice to have a guide, and I think I found one online. Yep, I just gotta follow the placement of what they have there. So hopefully that works out. There we go. So some of this propellant tank goes to the backpack, goes to the back of the leg, and I thought this would go to the or like some sort of connection in the backpack, but I guess it goes to the shoulder. That's interesting. And the beam saber hilts comes out of the knee. Huh, nice. Alright, that's it for the instruction, and let's play with this figure. Alright, so we got Nero here. Well, I think this is kind of like the prototype Nero, and but it's just a different color scheme. The first Robot Damashii Nero. Yeah, so you're able to, kind of convert him this way. That shoulder armor is quite huge. Yep, kind of reminds you of the S Gundam. Yeah, quite nice. Articulation wise, as well as the details, you got a really nice visor there. You got an aquamarine color. Really cool. I like that gloss, or just how it illuminates. You got this antenna here, which is probably very fragile, so gotta be careful. Get the neck movement here. You're able to look up. There's a joint on top of the torso. Move it side to side here. And you got the shoulder, which is on the hinge. You get a bicep swivel. And we have elbow bend. Really nice. You get the wrist joint here. And in terms of the shoulder, it's nice that you can actually move it out. Then you get a little bit of swivel here. Although, not much. Is that how, I think that's how far you can get, but you can go up really high with that too. Huh. Interesting. Then you have, let's see, you got a little bit of ab connection here. I don't think, there we go. Just gotta break it in. You got waist articulation, front skirt, side skirt. You can clearly tell that this is my first time moving all the joints here. And we got the biceps, or not bicep, the thigh swivel here. You got the knee. The knee armor placement is quite nice. You can even rotate as much. And you place the beam saber hilts here, which I find it doesn't go all the way as the instruction did. Maybe I'm just placing this wrong, but it does rub off. And there's a nasty nub there that someone forget to clean off. It's kind of hard to put it all the way in. Yeah. So it sticks out a little bit, but it's fine. It's a lot easier for me to take it out. And it does fold up. Not much problem there. You got the shin guard here. And you have the ankle, and you're able to move this. Like your toe movement. Well, not quite your toe because it's your heel, I guess. And you kind of see that this gray piece here is painted on top of the red. There's a bit of a, yeah. It's just, yeah, not too bad. Is it painted over? You guys probably don't see that, but there's a little bit of red in there along with the gray. Interesting. And that pretty much it for the articulation of this. This one has a peg connection type. Doesn't have that the robot Damashii connection type for the stand. Interesting. Actually, I don't mind that peg connection there. I think they should just have that. But then again, sometimes the waist is just too small or too skinny to put a peg on. So that's probably why they have the other one. All right, so moving on. Let's put some hands. Let's just go with that. So for the hands, we have the closed fist. Let's see what we got here. We got the open hands here for dynamic poses. Yep. And we got just the open hand or casual. You got your hold on here. 3 finger hand. So you can hold the rifle either way, as well as your beam saber hands. Yep. So quite nice assortment of hands here. And we'll swap it out in a bit. Let's go ahead and assemble the backpack. So the backpack here has a little bit of articulation here. It looks kind of, I don't like that. Too many, it looks horrible. But from the back, or from the front here, it doesn't look as bad as the underside. So I guess good placement of, well, where the knob's gonna be at. Yeah, that's actually great. Right, so for this, we're gonna attach all this. I got a little bit of what do you call this on my finger? It's due to work. It's work related. If you're wondering what that is on my finger. I was, I think, trying to turn a screwdriver And I callus my my hand. Put this on. I always get a comment from time to time about my finger. Did you cut your finger? It looks nasty. I'm a guy. I will eventually cut. I do cut my nails on a regular basis. Just that right now it's just long. Maybe after this review I'll cut it. So next review I'm gonna have nice clean fingernails. But sometimes you work with grease, man. You work with motors. You gotta have greasy hands. Alright, so to put this on, getting back to the review before I get some more sidetrack. There we go. It's quite nice. And this one, you just slide it out. Well, there we go. That's what I'm trying to do. Not slide the whole arm out. So we put this on, pop it in, and pop this back in. Hopefully it won't go back in there. Nope. Huh. There we go. So what is the best way to pull this out? Yeah, actually this one doesn't really stick out as much, this flap here. So maybe hold it from here and just slide out. There we go. So you gotta hold that in there. Otherwise you end up popping the whole shoulder out. But you can always put it back and slide this in. It's not in there yet. There we go. You gotta hear that click. What's up with this tab? It feels like this should stick out, but it does not. Those flaps. Oh well, the flap will stay there. Moving on, we got this shoulder binder. I don't think there's any orientation between left and right, so that could be a good thing. Put this on here, and there we go. Yeah, I like this design. It's weird. Huh. I just found this. Okay. So we have a spare one. Or is this shorter? Nope, same length. Well, that's great to know. I got a spare antenna, just in case. Unless something falls up, but I think that is a spare antenna. Oh, look at the... I think it... I didn't see it. Maybe it is. I didn't notice that, but that's a great thing. The things you discover while doing reviews. Good stuff. Alright, so next part, which kind of puzzles me, is... Wait, did I put this wrong? No. Because you get this shorter length propellant tanks, which I guess mounts here. And getting this off, these are pegs. Huh. It's always something, and how are we gonna pop that off? I had to find... let me grab some toothpicks. Alright, I was able to take off the other one. I tried toothpick, but it doesn't seem to budge. But the instructions say... on right here, the other one. Maybe nudge it on the bottom. So I got a screwdriver here, a flat one. And do a little bit of... There we go. I guess that works. Okay. Well, that works for me. And then I will attach this up. I don't think there's any orientation of putting this on. Okay. I'm just gonna attach it like so. Or do we... maybe they go like this. Yeah, I would think you want to hide that from getting shot at. Otherwise, yeah, you could lose your leg. So, yeah, you don't see it from the front. That makes sense. Alright, so, you know, with addition, you can move this up as a... Yeah. And this gives him quite a bit of mobility. Oh, that's what it's for. So this hinge is actually for this. Ah. And I'm not sure why you want to have that there, but I guess when he needs to spin around in space, yeah, you just need that extra direction, I guess. That's really cool. Yeah, so this is for mobility, not so much this binder here. This not so much for actually having weapons on it. Although, wouldn't be bad if this thing opens up and there's actually some kind of a laser or kind of cannon there. Who knows? Alright, so let him stand here and let's go look at his weapon. So aside from the beam saber, which I just knocked him off. Wonderful. Alright, good. So we have this really nice clear blue, same color as his eyes or his visor. And should we put it on? Why not? It's not a complete review if you don't put it on, right? Right, so let me take this out. And it's stuck there. Yeah, this thing kind of limits your knee articulation. Why would you put it there? Yeah, maybe it goes this way. I think I kind of like it the way it was. Yeah, let's leave it at that. Alright, this is gonna be another long review. Me struggling to pose this guy. And it's leaning forward. Alright, so let's swap the hands. The ones I use for the beam saber. Here we go. So let's just pose him with dual wielding. That's always good. And always make sure you hold it firmly by the joint. There we go. Because if you don't, you might fly off. It's actually swapping the joint on this one is actually quite easy. There we go. Yeah, there's a little bit of like the nub on this one. I wonder if I can just trim that off. But it's one of those that I kind of don't want to ruin the paint. It's already white, but it might be painted on. Yeah, I'm just not too sure. We'll just leave it the way it is. Putting this on. Oh, I think it goes this way. Come on. There we go. There's a little, it's like a button there. I always think that that's where you press it on and you get the beam to come out. And just imagine that this is like a battery pack here to get that thing out. I'm not sure if on its hand it has some kind of connection to get the power from the reactor, but or it all depends. I think they use kind of some sort of reactor on the torso here or on the waist. But yeah, there you go. You got the beam saber here. Yeah, this is looking nice. Alright, so moving on, let's go with the beam rifle. And let me just swap the hands and get to it. Actually, putting this on is actually quite fun. Let's see, how do we put this on? Well, good thing the fingers are flexible. There we go. So we gotta clear that bottom part of the handle. And come on. There we go. Just gotta play around with it. You got that really nice scope there. Get some light there. And some details on this rifle is quite nice. Yep. There's no moving part on this rifle, but it is quite nice. Okay, I kind of want to get the Nero prototype, but the price on this is, since they're limited, even the Ewok one, the kind of like the Scout, yeah, it's just, they're limited and they're hard to get. It's probably better just get another Nero trainer as opposed to getting the prototype one or the first Nero. I think it's just the Nero. Yeah, so yeah, this is quite nice. I really like this, and I think that pretty much covers for the most part. Yeah, I didn't add the decals, but yeah, this is a great looking robot Damashii. Really nice. I'm really impressed on this one. Yeah, just quite poseable. Except for that, maybe put it on the side here, or maybe just remove it. I kind of don't need that propellant tag. I might just take it out. We'll see. But yeah, this is quite nice. Sadly, just kind of hard to collect all three of them. I did collect the one for the Dragonar, which is great. They're not that expensive, well, compared to this, but still. Yeah, quite nice. I really like this. I would highly recommend getting the Nero trainer. Really cool looking grunt suit. Quite nice. Right, that's about it for the review. Hope you guys like it. If you have any questions, I'll try my best to answer that for you. Otherwise, that's about it. Again, I got mine from Tatsu Hobby. I'll provide the link down below. Check out their other robot Damashii. Otherwise, you can always send them an inquiry. That's about it. So until then, this is Meads. Thanks for watching.